Hello and welcome to episode 17 of my Cricket Captain 2020 save with Leicestershire. Obviously we found out in the last episode that we would be promoted to Division 1 as champions of Division 2. So I played this final game off camera, and to be honest I spent most of this game wondering how Worcestershire managed to finish second. Bowled him out within the first session. Ackerman 4 for 17, Parkinson 3 for 29. Gave Jack Sheen a first class debut as well. Last chance saloon, just to try and prove to me that maybe he does have a future at the club. Again, decent contributions from the top three, and Cosgrove, who also came in. Nicholas Butt 7 for 48. Good performance from him. We bowled him out for 240. Brett D'Oliveira batted pretty well, 2 wickets for Sheen, but I'm not convinced it's enough. Chased it fairly easily, made it a little bit harder than we needed to, but Henry Child was 70, the best performer there. So if you look at the domestic tables, for the first time since 2003 we will be in Division 1 next season. 19-year absence. Well worth the wait though, assuming we can stay up. 42 bowling points, which is actually, that is the maximum. So it helps me saying our bowling was a problem. It clearly doesn't seem to be. Not in the championship anyway. Finished top in the end by 55 points ahead of Worcestershire. Unbeaten. I mean, even Surrey Championship Division 2 still lost 4 games. So very happy with that. Highest points as well by a considerable margin. So excellent in that. If we look at stats, leading run scorer Tom Kohler-Cadmore, Liam Livingston, Yannaman Malan, he played for Kent, obviously formerly of us. Hassan Azad finished 6th in that list, average 67, pretty good season from him. Bowlers, Matt Mills 90 wickets, that's insane, very good from him. Anderson 83, Parkinson 83. I mean, a lot of really strong performances. Parkinson getting in the top 5 for us, which is excellent to see. The One Day Cup was won by Kent in the end. You can see the groups there. Pretty sorry performance from us, to be honest. If we have a look at the stats, Mark Cosgrove leading run scorer, 616 runs, average of 88. No one else there that I can see for us. Darcy Schwab there, Van Ziel. A couple of no, that's not Charlie Taylor at Glamorgan. Joe Cook there at Glamorgan. That's impressive. He hasn't done very well whenever I've played against him. Rabardo leading wicket taker, Coughlin there, and Josh Tong. None of our bowlers are there. Well, that's the competition we struggled in with the ball. T20 Blast also won by Kent. How do they perform in the championship, just out of interest? 7th. So yeah, definitely a white ball focused season for them. Stats for this: Joe Denley, Bell Drummond, unsurprisingly leading 2 run scorers considering they won the competition. Tom Wesley, our leading scorer. Murray just behind him. Wickets, Brett Hutton 34, average of 11. Broad, very good. Abbott, outstanding. Podmore, very good. Our best bowler, Gavin Griffiths, 27 wickets at 14. Handy. Looking at the 100. Here we go. Might be able to see how. No, this is just English 20 over again. We can't see how our players did in the 100, unfortunately. London Spirit won that anyway. All I can tell you is that our players played for. So Azad played for the Fire, Taylor played for the Brave, and Griffiths played for the Superchargers. So no one managed to win, unfortunately. So Surrey won Division 1, Leicestershire and Worcestershire promoted to Division 1, Hampshire and Somerset relegated to Division 2. We'll have a look at our individual performances now. Leading run scorer in, we'll just look at the first class. So Azad leading run scorer comfortably with a 1.214, average of 67, followed by Wesley 8.41, Slater 7.47, Child 7.09, although he did miss a few games due to international call-ups, Murray 5.58, Hill 5.10, Ackerman disappointing unfortunately. Wickets, Parkinson the standout 83, Klein second with 53, Griffiths 40. Wickets quite a few as well for Taylor, Ackerman and Wright. Going on to the one day, Cosgrove was fantastic, Ackerman 243, no one else even past 200. Cosgrove really did carry us in that competition. Bowling wasn't really a standout, to be honest. Wright and Klein did okay, Ackerman wasn't awful. No one else was great really, even Parkinson struggled in that. And then finally the T20s. Slater, Wesley and Murray all did pretty well. Cosgrove wasn't too bad either, Child decent, pretty good average. Again missed a few games due to international call-ups. With the ball, Parkinson very good, Griffiths excellent, Klein fantastic as well, Taylor good. So again our bowling was pretty decent in that, to be fair. Looking at performances, so obviously last year we didn't finish bottom of the one day gap apparently. I thought we did. So that was actually an improvement on 2019 then, but we've smashed these out of the water. First in Division 1, so that'll be 11th overall. 5th in our group in the Vitality Blast. Still bottom of the Championship one day cup unfortunately. Looking at records, we haven't broken any historical records, but from last season we beat our highest total, 505. Best bowling, Parkinson with 12 for 116. Most runs and most wickets in a season as well. And those are the records for this season. Looking at one day, again no historical records broken, but from last season our lowest total. It's not necessarily the nicest record to break, but that's for that. Best bowling, Parkinson 5 for 38, and most runs Cosgrove. And then T20, there was one historic record broken, Gavin Griffiths for the most wickets in a season with 2,000 wickets would be nice, 27 wickets. Since 2020, highest total we broke this season, also leading run scorer Tom Wesley. Partnerships, no historical ones broken in the first class, but quite a few here. Tom Wesley and Henry Child were the highest against Northants. Some decent ones all the way down. Murray and Azad as well, 201. One day, one historic record broken, 78 between Hill and Parkinson against Lancashire. A few broken since last year as well, Slater and Cosgrove at the top of the order. Cosgrove involved in all three of them actually, the ones that we broke this season. And then T20, one historical record, Child and Slater against Derbyshire, 118. A few broken as well, Slater and Wesley, very good partnership there, Child and Murray again. So some decent partnerships made this season. Finance, I'm not really sure how good that's looking, we'll have to wait and see. We're going to save at this point. Have a little look at the world rankings as well. India top of the Test match rankings, England still top of the ODIs, India top of the T20s. Best Test batsman Joe Root, best ODI batsman Virat Kohli and Steve Smith for T20s. Bowling, Anderson for Tests, Bumrah for ODIs, and then Trent Boult for T20. Let's continue on then, I will do the contracts. We can look at the 100 stats here. If you're interested, 6 for 11's handy from George Garton. And yeah, you can have a look at all of these. I'll just flip through all of them, compare how we've done with the top performances from across the country. There we are then. Contracts. How much budget are we going to have? That is the question. Chris Wright is retired, so we do still have Cosgrove for another year. 257k our budget. And already I can see 5 players on here that I wouldn't be against letting go. Hill I am going to keep, even if it's just for one more year. Murray, 37k for a T20 contract. Considering he did very well for us in the T20, I am going to do it, I think. And looking at anyone else in the squad who we can release, there's probably not anyone. We probably do want to keep hold of everyone here, for now at least. Henry Child has got an England contract. That's impressive for him. Well done. Yeah, so Dearden, I'm happy to let go. Same with Evans. Mike, Alistair, it's not Alistair Evans, that's a Scottish bowler. Alex Evans, Jack Sheen can all go as well. So Hill and Murray are happy to stay. Right then. This is where we need to be smart. Joe Clark's a good player. He would strengthen our middle order. We're going to offer him a 3-year deal. And he can keep wicket. Which is nice. Who else have we got here? Wayne Parnell? Jamie Porter. Oh. If we can get him, that's a cracking signing. Tom Bailey is good as well. I'd be very happy with Porter or Josh Tongue. I don't actually know if it's Tongue or Tong. Bit awkward if we do end up signing him, and I don't know how to say his name, but there we are. We'll do that for the first 3. Not still want to keep Clark. We'll offer him as much as we can. Porter joins and Tong joins. Bowling strengthened. That's for sure. Anyone else here then? Got a few more players available now. So if we're looking at our budget, let's have a look in youth to start with. Anyone good here? Ollie Peel, Australian. So he'd count as an overseas. Second over average of 61, first class average. I mean, he's never played. So I don't see any reason why we should go for him, to be honest. Look at second 11 averages here. Billy Root, George Bartlett, Billy Godalman, Colin Ingram for T20. He's 36, not worth it I don't think. And Aaron Donald is a very good player. I'm a big fan. He would strengthen our batting in all formats. Okay, we're going to have to take some budget off here. 3-year deal. Okay, Clark's stayed at Notts, and Aaron Donald has joined. We still need a keeper then. And we haven't been left with anyone good, have we? That's typical. Right. Let's have a look at our squad then. So, Slater has had to open. Wesley, Child, Ackerman, Donald. That's a good top 6. Murray's there for T20. Have we got an overseas keeper then that would be available? Bancroft maybe? Alex Carey wouldn't be available for much. Is it Kusal Pereira? Tom Latham? Latham's a shout. K.R. Rahul. Who's this? Munir Ahmed. Never heard of him. Let's look at second team averages then for these. Quinton de Kock obviously is a standout, but we can't afford him. Nicholas Puran is not going to be available for much. I'm thinking maybe Tom Latham. Available for a decent amount of the season. Previous experience in county cricket. He's played for Durham. Very good average there when he's played for them. Kent, he's done okay as well. I'm a fan of Tom Latham. Let's give it a go. Minimum squad size of 21. You know what? I mean, I'm still not going to be able to get him, am I? No. Ah, okay. I mean, I think 19's a perfectly reasonable squad size, to be honest. Do we go with Bancroft then? He can open, but we've got openers already. Just someone who can keep wicket. He's not too expensive. He just rules out all of these, I think. Looking back here, I mean, Adam Rouse. These are very average, these three. Oh, I've made the same mistake again, haven't I? There's Julian Jefferson. Very aggressive, could be useful in limited overs. I mean, it averages 35. It's not great, is it? We still need a keeper though. Whether we just sign a average one and then another bowler maybe? I mean, if we just... Who's this? Morris Higgins. It's not very good. Adam Rouse, formerly of Kent and Hampshire. I mean, as a backup. But we didn't need a backup with Hill, to be fair. I don't think there's any point in us signing a backup. Let's look at overseas players. Second 11 averages. We'll go with... Looking at our squad, we've got a very strong top 6, I think. So I say we go overseas bowler. Who can we get? Rashid Khan. It's going to have to be someone cheap though, isn't it? Because we need a minimum squad size of 28 or whatever it is. A couple of South African regions here with pretty good maybe. I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce that name. Kevin Stewart has only played T20s. Mitchell Stark, they're all too expensive, aren't they? Any good batsmen that aren't going to use up all our budget, because apparently we need to have a minimum squad size. Do we go with Peel? He is going to count as overseas. I mean, you know what we could do? Okay, we need to make a main overseas signing. So for that, I mean, we could just go with Bancroft. If we do that, he can keep wicket then, instead of Hill. Everyone else just moves down one. We sign Peel as our reserve. Okay, I'm going to have to see my head. Hopefully no one gets Peel. Of course they have. Okay. I mean, a reserve overseas, we don't have to pay, do we? So... Could we just go with Latham? Okay, it has to be cheaper than Bancroft. Okay, that makes sense. I wish I could sort these by the salary. It's got to be cheaper than 43k. Good luck getting anyone decent. Anyone else for 220s anyway? This is Avishka Fernando. If we look at T20 career then. Fakar Zaman could open the batting maybe? No, he's not bad. Big fan of Alex Carey. Quinton de Kock, probably too expensive. He's got pretty good availability. Jimmy Neesham. few Sri Lankans here, haven't heard of either of them. Mohammed Nawaz, Ashton Turner, Nisa. I mean, we could go with Rashid Khan, T20 overseas. Oh, seriously? No, but we just... Oh. Right. Okay. What we're going to do... This is risky, right? Sean Abbott. Because there's no... I don't think there are any bats we can get anyway. That are less than... I mean, we're pretty limited in terms of options for our reserve overseas. So I'm going to go with Sean Abbott. I won't be able to get him, will I? Because he's Australian. Oh, no. Who's this Watson? Okay, it's that guy. I mean, second 11, 3-day... He looks okay. We'll go with him, reserve overseas. And then Rashid Khan, T20 overseas. Have we got to get him first? Rashid's still there. We might have just pulled it off. We have. We signed Rashid Khan. Okay. That's a strong squad, I reckon. Batting looks good. So Slater, Azad. Bancroft could bat 3. Wesley, Child. And then you can either get in Cosgrove, Donald or Ackerman. That's a good championship top 6. In fact, you could have 2 of them. Don't play Hill, because you had a Bancroft opening, or wherever, and keep a wicket. 4 bowlers then, for the championship would be Porter, Tong, Klein, and then Porter, Tong, Parkinson, one of either Klein, Griffiths or Taylor. Okay. And then T20, we've got Murray to come in, and Rashid Khan. And then we've got Abdurrahman Watson, I'm guessing, is how you say his first name. So he's our reserve overseas. If Bancroft's unavailable, he can play. Hopefully he can do a decent job for us as a pace bowler. I think that's a good squad, to be honest. I'm happy with that. Definite improvements made. We've brought in a player from Hampshire. Always happy about that. Yeah, no complaints I don't think from me. Happy with how that's gone. Overall, yeah, not a bad job, I don't think. We're going to have some very, very average youth players coming through, and not a lot of training, but the squad is strong, so hopefully that'll be enough to see us through. If we can stay up, there's money in Division 1, and so hopefully we'll have more funds for next year. But that's been the Season 2 review. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with the start of Season 3. Hopefully we can stay in Division 1. First time of asking. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon.